Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a fascinating guest in studio today. It's Dr. Mika Garrett, and she's the Executive Director for Bridge to Freedom. Doctor, tell me a little bit about you. Let's start there.
So my story would start with my time in prison, right? I went to prison 2 times, and I was a heroin addict for about 30 years. So I had some of the same struggles that the people that I help, right? And so that allowed me to understand what they're going through. And once I was in prison, the main thing that happened to me is I began to walk with the Lord, right? Mm-hmm. And so I got saved in prison, and so when I came home from prison, the drugs and all of that were gone, and so I went back to school. I come from a very educated African-American family, strong matriarchs. Went back to school, and when I looked up, I had worked all the way up to a master's degree in criminal justice, and so a friend of mine who also is an ex-offender, we both entered the doctorate program and both got doctorates in organizational management and leadership. And during that time, in 2009, is when God just gave me the vision for Bridge to Freedom. And my husband, who was also in prison, the two of us developed the curriculum and the vision for Bridge to Freedom. And it was basically just that men and women who come home from prison, they really get saved or their lives change while they're in prison. And they want the same change when they come out. But if the environment is not conducive to what has happened to them there, they're like fruit that will spoil on the ground. So we wanted to make sure that they had a clean environment to come home to.
So tell me a little bit, with Bridge to Freedom, you've got a little bit of the mission there to provide that clean and safe entry. Mm-hmm. and you've brought it to Fort Heights?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because we were located on the west side of Chicago, and we were in the inner city, and so the temptations were so strong there. On the corner, people were selling loose squares, they were selling drugs on the corner, and we wanted our people to be able to come to an environment that was clean and rural and away from all of the temptations that got them in trouble in the first place. This is not to say that people in rural communities don't go to prison, because they do, especially with the new Met. Mm-hmm. That's going on. You know, it's happening on farms and everywhere. But when you're going back and forth to the grocery store and people are approaching you to sell drugs and different things like that, we just thought somewhere rural would be so much better.
And so how are you, I feel like with you bringing with Bridge to Freedom coming to Fort Heights, they're helping you, and you're helping them. Talk
Absolutely.
to me a little bit about that. That's a great relationship.
It's a great relationship with Bridge to Freedom and the mayor and the community there. The mayor there, Mayor Coulter, she is so interested in second chances, right? And she was so adamant about how when people in the community in the southern suburbs come home from prison, they have to go all the way to the west side or all the way to the south side for their anger management, lifestyle redirection, substance abuse, or mental health. So she was really, really on board for having something in the southern suburbs, because the suburbs have become the new city because of the gentrification. So many people have had to move out there, right?
Right. So tell me a little bit about how you're different from other programs.
Well, our program, we begin to work with the inmate 1 year before they leave prison. Most reentry programs don't work with them. We mentor them. We send them curriculums. My husband has written a very comprehensive set of curriculums, action plans, goal plans, job setting, church setting, education setting, just different curriculums that we work with them 1 year before they leave prison. We have a set of books that we send in to them that they read, and they do the workbook part of it. We work with Prison Fellowship, Wheaton, and we get their books to send in to them. So it's like a mail order thing where they're doing the work and sending it back to us. And this goes on for 1 year. Then we have a 15-page application that they have to fill out, and that sets the stage. They are approved or disapproved according to the application.
And how long is this program?
So the program is actually 3 years. 1 year behind the bars, 2 years once you are released. You can stay at our facility for up to 2 years, long as you are working towards your goals and towards your plans, and you are successfully reintegrating back into society. And sometimes that takes that long.
Is that different from most others?
It is, because most programs will allow you 90 days right before they're saying, you need to have a job, you need to be paying, you need to be doing this. And that's not that to say that we're not a pay program as well, but sometimes it takes 6 months for them to find a job. Sometimes we have to send them through a culinary art training program that's 12 weeks, and then they get the job. So 12 weeks is 3 months, and it might take 3 months or 2 months for them to even get approved for the culinary arts program. So there's not a rush. There is a plan, and you work through it, and you pace through it at your own pace.
That's wonderful. Tell me a little bit about how the community is embracing you, or how you're working with the community and giving back with and the outreach you do as well.
Well, the churches in the community volunteer. If they have food pantries, they donate food. The churches in the community give. You know, we have one church, Friends for Life Church, over in Flossmoor. That church, under the leadership of Dr. George Wilson, that church has embraced us, and they just come in with gifts and beds and linen and sheets and towels and soap and personals, deodorant and things like that. And then they even volunteer their services and their time.
Why is it important that we think about ex-offenders coming back to the neighborhood? What is the percentage that return, and why is that so important that a program like yours gets the support you need?
Only 2% in the state of Illinois are lifers. So that means 98% are coming home. And when they come home, if they don't have a good reentry program to come to, then they're going right into the neighborhood. They're going to be your neighbors, right? And the federal government, everybody has to go to a reentry program upon their release, and they go there for 90 days to 120 days. And it makes reentry so much more successful because you have it's like a support group that can help you, counselors, different people that can help you. These people come home with nothing, you know, no ID, anything. And sometimes their families are not able to give that support. Their families are working, taking care of kids, doing things. And you might not be able to say, Mom, I need you to take me to get an ID. But at Bridge, those are the things we do. We help you get your medications. We help you get set up with doctors. We help you get your Medicaid or insurance or dental or eyeglasses. So many needs.
So many needs. How can people help you the most?
Give. Money, give. The financial needs are great. They're great. And so, you know, anybody wanting to give, you know, we have a website, www.bridgetofreedom.org. There's a donate button there. It takes about $14,000 to $15,000 a year per inmate to successfully get them started, you know, with clothes, the education, the bus cards, the different things that they're going to need to get to work, you know, just everything that they're going to need.
Well, I love how you say when they're coming home, because I think that is so important, because they are coming home, and you're providing a home with Bridge to Freedom. So I cannot thank you enough for stopping by and telling me all about it.
Yes.
We wish you a lot of success. You are doing vitally, vitally important work. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. We're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.